Hi, this is Kathi Quinn with Floriani, Floriani's division of R&K Distributing, and I want to welcome you to this week's Project of the Week. I have gotten several questions on our My Floriani Today page, so we're going to look at that today. So we're going to go through and see what our tabs are. Now, our software support ticket is probably the first thing you'll ever use because the software support ticket tab is where you ask for an additional activation. Remember, when you purchase Floriani software, you get one activation in the box. However, we realize most of y'all have got a laptop and a desktop, or one at the lake or one at the cabin. So we want it to be easy for you, so we give you two activations without question. So once you install it in your first computer, then you would come and you would click on our software support ticket. Now, software support is when you have support issues. You've got error messages, you're missing icons, you can't get registered, any kind of problems or challenges like that. And then we'll talk about when you how to do a run stitch. So in here, if you go into our software support ticket, we've got select which software you have, put in your serial number, that's your alphanumeric code that's inside your case. Your operating system, which Windows system are you running? Or is it Windows 10? Is it Windows 8? Go ahead and fill this out. This is self-explanatory. And then right here is where you ask your questions, such as, I would like a second activation. Or maybe you've had two activations and you had to buy a new computer. Your computer died. So then we need you to qualify it in here so we can work with you to get your new computer up and running. Once you fill all that out, you will click Submit. So that is your software support ticket. Now, anytime we add new features, what's new with FTCU, we have a new features tab. So you can come in here and not only does it tell us what our new features are, and you can see, you can come in and then you can go through, and not only does it show you our new features, it gives you a brief explanation and a video on how to use the new features, because we get new features all the time and we want to make it easy for you to come in here and enjoy the new features. So I highly recommend checking out your new features and come in here and watch one of the videos and then go ahead and follow that. Now our next tab is real important. This is your forum. So let's click on the forum. This is where you go in there and you want to know how to digitize a leaf. Now you come into the forum and you sign in. Now I'm already signed in, but if you've never logged in, you'll go ahead and ask to join the forum. Very simple. You'd come in and you'll see where it says join the forum. Now we have it broken down. This is Total Control U, My Design Album, and My Decorative Quilter. So you can go into the category that you want to go in. And you'll notice that we've got lots of members. Lots and lots of members here. And the nice thing about this is when you've got all these members, not only do you have the moderators, you can see here's Mark Garretts. He's one of our educators. He's very, very familiar with My Decorative Quilter, does most of the webinars on that. So you can come in and not only do you get the benefit of your educators, we have moderators, and this is a moderated forum. And what that means to you is this is an educational forum. This isn't a forum where you're going to sell Amway or show pictures of your dog and your grandkids. You're going in here for education and information. So we moderate this forum so that we can make sure that it's full of education. We also make sure it's a positive forum. We don't let people say, well, I had XYZ software and I never liked it, or so-and-so didn't support their software. This is all about positive education. Now, if you go into, let's say we go into Total Control, then you can start looking at some of these different headings that you're looking for. How do I do towel embossing? How do I convert to outlines? You've got some of questions on Marty's blog, or or answers on Marty's blog. So you can see, you can come in here and you'll get to see lots of questions, lots of answers, and then you can go in, and if you click on one of these, let's go to towel embossing, for instance, and you'll notice the one that has lots of views and stuff, we go ahead and we keep up here for you. So we want these in here where you can look at these. Now we've got some towel embossing. So here we go. So you're going to see that you'll have, Brad's got some videos in here. Then you've got some other questions. So you've got all kinds of stuff. So it's really nice that you've got these opportunities in here to work within the forum. And this is where you go for all of those questions. How do I create a run stitch? How would I make a new thread chart? Look through the forum. That's where you want to go. And you can also search in the forum with a specific word. I could go ahead and type in thread. What do we have under thread? Let this come through. See what's in here under thread. So here we go. So now we're going to have everything that has to do with thread. So you can come in here and look at these. So this is the way to go as far as information on how-tos in the software. Our current specials, of course you want to know about our current specials. So of course if you come in here you can see what's on special, that you can go to your dealer and request. So you can see what's on sale, what's going on, so you can go into a participating dealer and work with them. Allow this so that we can see videos and stuff if we need to. Okay, go ahead. We're going to come on down because we've looked at our current special. Our event calendar. So if you want to know where we're going to be, what's going on with Floriani, you can visit our event calendar. So you can come in here, see what's going on in May. Here's our project of the month. You can search by event types. I want to see all the hands-on that are available in whatever state. Let's go to, let's say, Florida. Just going wild here. And so I can search, see what's going on, and we'll see what's going on in Florida in May. So you can see that you can go through and look at the calendars. Once you see what's available, you can look at what dealers it's available at and move on and register to go to an event. So lots of fun in there with our calendar. Let's close this down and close this down. Okay, any announcements? What's going on? Let's see what's going on with Floriani. So right now the main thing going on that they've got showing is the weekly videos, which I will tell you, the weekly videos will teach you about the software quicker than anything. And here, this is really important. Click here to ask Kaylee. If you have a stabilizer question, suggestion, anything, Kaylee's here to help. Now Kaylee's got videos up here with her stabilizing solutions to watch if you like. Also, you have the ability to ask questions, because sometimes if you've got a question that's not answered, you can click in here. Maybe you have a specific fabric that you can't find an answer on how to stitch on. Now of course my first place would be go to Floriani's Save2Sew feature in our software and let Walter straighten out your design. But if you have a fabric that's not listed there, you've never stitched on, or any other stabilizer and embroidery question, you can ask Kaylee, and let me tell you, you will get a great answer. And if it's a fabric we don't know about, we'll go out, get it, and stitch on it and have a good answer for you. So we've got all of those little goodies in there with Ask Miss Kaylee. Now of course our website has got tons and tons of information on it, free information. Now here of course is MyFloriani.Club. So if we click on this, it's going to take us right to the club. Now, if you have not requested membership, please request membership to the club. That is real important because there's so much information in here. This is where you get your videos. This is where you can look at the webinars. This is where you see the projects of the month. Any information, all of our projects are here. Everything is in the club. And remember, this club is exclusive to Floriani registered software owners only. So this is a great place to be. Now if we come in here and I'm looking at the front page that you can get to without signing into the club. Of course, this is our propaganda to make you want to belong to the club. All you need to do is sign in, request your membership if you haven't, otherwise sign in, and then now you're in the club. So here we go. Marty's got another incredible video up or a blog up, and enjoy Marty's blogs. She does a great job with these blogs, kind of sometimes helps you think outside the box, so these blogs are always fun. And then of course you've got your software lessons, you've got your training videos, you've got your webinars, you've got your Floriani Club Weekly. You have, of course, I'll just click on this because this is always important to everybody, is your free monthly designs. I'm sorry, I need to make this remember it's okay to allow this. Okay, so here's our free monthly designs, and here's your May project of the month is your Elegant Evenings. Now this is Kathi Farrell that does our projects of the month now, and she's doing a fantastic job. And if you haven't done your projects of the month, you need to get in there and download those and do them, because not only do you have a great project, but you get a whole lot of embroidery knowledge, software knowledge, because they are complete projects. Of course, you can go back and see all the archived blogs, and if we've got new products out, you've got your new product inside. And of course we've got our new Wet and Gone Tacky Plus, our Perfect Stick Cutaway. So go in here and look at these. Those are all good things to see. And of course you can look for your dealers here. You've got software, so you get your software tickets, your products, so you can look at all the products. Again, you can go to see events and anything we have on special, and you can come in through the club. So the club is a great place to be. Now I did mention, so I'm going to show this real quick, this feature in the software. I told you if you have used your Save2Sew and Kaylee you haven't gotten an answer, ask Kaylee. Let's go to our library real quick, and let's go ahead and pick out a design. Let's go to an Anita Good. I'm going to go to Anita Good Designs, because it doesn't matter what you're working with as long as they're designs. Sometimes people feel like we show Floriani the free monthly designs. I show those all the time and use them in my exercises because I know you have them and they're free. But then people wonder, well, can I do things with other people's designs I've purchased? So let's just grab something that Mr. Steve has done here with Anita Good. Let's look in this folder and see what we've got. Oh, here. Yeah, these are great designs. Let's just pull one of these in. And remember, you just drag and drop, and there it is. Now, this design has got 11,216 stitches in it. It's got 8 colors. It's 3.4 inches by it's about a 3 by 3 design. Now, let's go File, Save2Sew, because this could only be digitized for one thing. Now, with our digitizers, such as Steve Wilson, fantastic digitizer, they try to kind of digitize so it'll work on a knit, you know, and if it'll work on a knit, it's gonna stitch stably on your cottons, your linens, any woven fabric, because knits require more skill than to digitize, because you've got a lot more push and pull. So if we come in here and say, okay, I'm going to put this on, let's go ahead and put this on canvas. Now I didn't digitize this, Anita Good did. Now it's asking me, are you going to hoop the fabric? And I will tell you right now, if you can possibly hoop the fabric, do so, because it's proven that if you can hoop it, you're always going to get a better result. Now you can also decide if it's a solid and dense design or open and airy without any outline. This is pretty solid and dense, so I can make that choice. You don't necessarily have to, but that choice is there. Now I'm going to go to next, and it's going to ask me right now, do you want me to apply density, underlay, pull comp, and any other settings that Walter, what he would do if he was digitizing this design? Well, to me this is a no-brainer because Walter, after all, is the master. So I'm going to go to next. Now notice what it's going to tell me right now. It's telling me exactly how to stabilize that fabric. It's telling me what to do, exactly what to do, and now I have all of this. I can print this out if I need to, or I can just read it, hoop, and go. Now when I finish, what it's done already is, remember we had 11,000 stitches. It's already removed some of the stitches because it didn't need probably as much pull compensation as it had originally for a knit. So I'm not going to save this design, but you can see it redigitized it. It worked it so it would work good on the fabric I picked. So let's go back, File, let's do Save to Sew, and let's come in here and let's pick a nightmare. Let's pick Polar Fleece. Now that's a nightmare fabric because Polar Fleece stretches, I think, in 1,000 different directions. So Polar Fleece needs a whole lot of specialty type digitizing to not distort. So now we've got Polar Fleece, and I'm going to put Polar Fleece. I didn't digitize. Am I going to hoop this fabric? Now notice something. It says, am I going to hoop the fabric? Do you notice I can't move? Now watch. When I said no, look, next came available. Why? Because you don't hoop Polar Fleece. Polar Fleece is a tough one to hoop. You've got a good chance of hoop burn. You have stretching it. Now of course you're going to put a cutaway on the back of that, so once that cutaway is on that, the Polar Fleece is more stable. But unless you have specialty hoops and stuff, a lot of times Polar Fleece tends to damage in a hoop. So a lot of times we use perfect stick cutaway so we can stick this down because it's much easier to deal with Polar Fleece stuck down than trying to hoop it. So it wouldn't even let me because it knows, suggest wise, don't hoop the fabric. Now when I go to next, now I've got 10,820 stitches. It's asking me, do I want to let Walter fix it? Absolutely. We're going to go to next. Now notice I just went to 19,395 stitches. It added 9,000 stitches. Why? And of course it's telling me put it to a stick to product, Floriani Perfect Stick. Okay, so let's finish this. Let's go ahead and finish. We're not going to save it. I want you to even, just looking at this design, you can see the difference. Let's do this. Let's go back to our library. Let's go back to our designs, I mean. Now I'm going to pull in. Now can you just look? You don't even have to. Just look at the difference. You can look at it and see this has gotten much heavier. You can see in the underlays, you can see now why. Because with Polar Fleece, you've got to have a lot more foundation under it. You use different types of underlay. You'll notice that you've got a contour and a zigzag underlay under this satin stitch because Polar Fleece, since it stretches in so many directions, having this contour underlay, these parallel lines on either side of the zigzag, will not allow that satin to pull in any farther. So what that means to us is it keeps that satin stitch the same width all around. Let's go to our other side just so you can see exactly what I'm talking about. Let's go to our other one. Let's move on over. See the difference? See the underlay difference here to here? So you can see a big difference in this underlay. You can see a lot that's going on. So Walter will set that up for you so it will work on the fabric of your choice. So Save to Sew is real important. But if you're using Save to Sew, there's not a fabric there for you, there's something you don't know how to stitch on, Then, of course, to stabilize that, you've got Miss Kaylee, so you can always go to Ask Kaylee. I hope you enjoyed this week's project of the week, and I look forward to seeing you again next week. Have a wonderful week.